Okay, let's take just a moment here and refactor some of our front-end code, as it particularly relates to the flashing of success. So let's say we'll create a method in here which is just going to be flash success. That's going to take a message. All right, and we need to put an apostrophe in there. And just like this here, it's going to take success. We have event there, but instead of being that, it's going to be message to flash that. Now I don't want this staying up for too long, so let's create a timeout function. So we'll say set timeout, and we'll pass through basically resetting it back to null, and that's going to take care of making our message disappear. And we'll set this so it's good for about 5,000 seconds, or 5,000 milliseconds, so 5 seconds in total. And then the message will disappear for us. Now all we have to do is we have to call basically this dot flash success, and then we'll pass through event in there on that one. I'm going to clean this up a little bit here too, because we don't need to pass event in here anymore. It just makes our code look a little cleaner. We should be good in there. Okay, perfect. And you'll see us as we go through and we manage the users in here, how we can keep plugging into those over and over. So user, again, I'll just create some random users. So Tyson at london10.com. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's gone. Perfect. That's exactly what we want to see in there. So now that's been successfully rewritten for us. Now, one of the things I want to do is move on to actually how we delete individual users. So what we'll do here is we'll add an icon for deleting, and we'll make sure that the person actually confirms to delete so that we can get rid of all of this, some of this random data that we're dealing with. Okay, so in order to do that, let's add that to a button here. So we'll say button.btn.btn-small.btn-danger, so it is dangerous, i.fas.fa-trash. That'll give us the trash icon if we actually spell that correctly in there. And what we want to do is we want to reference a method. Click.prevent equals, I don't think we actually should do prevent because it's not as part of a form. So we'll say at click, and we want to delete user, and we'll pass through that user themselves in there. So delete user, we'll create a method for that right now. So I'll say get page, that's not important. So we'll say get users, delete user. Again, that's going to take the user here. And what we want to do is we actually want them to confirm that they want to delete it. So we'll go confirm. We'll say let equals confirm. So they have to click yes or no. Yes will return true, and it'll assign it to the value of R. So we want to say, are you sure you want to delete from the system? Okay. If they click yes, so if R, we're just expecting it to return true or false, so R is satisfactory in there. Then for now, we'll just go console log, okay, user deleted. Congratulations, right? Okay, let's go back to this here. Let's see if we're getting any errors in our console. We're not, that's great. And we'll click this. Perfect. Are you sure you want to delete Tyson 10 from the system? We'll say OK. And we can see down here, user deleted. Now we actually haven't gone and we actually haven't deleted it. Let's quickly go and create a route to manage this. And we'll use Axios here. And we'll say .post. We'll say data.users/ plus, and then we want to actually have the user ID in there. Okay. And the other item we want to do is we want to spoof this as a delete. To delete it. Okay, so we'll say .then response, and then we're just going to console log the response for now. We're not going to delete them because we need to add some middleware to make sure that only if they're an admin can they delete it, and only if they're not themselves can they delete it. Or and that if they're not themselves, then they can't delete it. So we'll say response.data, and we'll just pass through a string to make sure that we've actually reached that properly. So let's go to data. In here, we're going to say route delete, and then we need to actually put the user ID in there. So we'll say users controller at destroy. Let's go up to our users controller in here, public function destroy. So we have user $user, and for now all we're going to do is we're just going to return a string, and that's going to be successfully deleted username. Okay, let's see what happens here, see if we've done this correctly. I'm going to go ahead and refresh this. And are you sure you want to delete it from the system? Okay, we came up with an error 500. Let's find out what that error 500 is coming from. We'll just take a quick scan here. What's coming in here? Username. Users brought in. Here, right? Data. Users. Okay, you can see that I misspelled it. Okay, let's try this again. Delete. Successfully deleted Tyson London 10. That should be what came through there. Let's close this one out for now. We don't need this anymore. Yeah, console log response.data. Perfect. And yeah, successfully deleted Tyson. Okay, so now there's a couple things we want to do. I want to start securing some of these routes. I'm going to start securing them from within the controller, and I'll show you a couple ways that we can actually do this through middleware provided. Middleware, like we use to secure individual routes already with web and auth. We can create specific middleware for if the person's an administrator, or we want to make sure that it does or doesn't belong to that specific user. And we can do that with a callback function, or we can create a standalone middleware class in order to handle that. So that's what we'll look at here in the next video.